Colin was right.
I said New England, watch out. They're going to be the double the win total team in the NFL. This will be my fourth year in a row if I hit this. After the Raiders loss, I said, slow down. Between free agents and draft picks, they're starting like a dozen new guys. Don't freak out. When they lost to Pittsburgh, I said, let it play out. No team is starting more new bodies. Vrabel's brilliant guy. Drake May's really good. And this is one of those things where not all opening losses are the same. Detroit's obviously a good team. They got housed in the first game. New England lost to the Raiders. I kept saying, don't worry. They'll figure a way. They're building a culture, and we were right.
Yeah. Drake May has been big time. No question about it. No question about it. That game, he was playing like he was like an 8-year vet. He's playing with such confidence and such authority. And I judge Drake May right now as if he's a rookie because last season, he didn't even play the full season. The coaching staff was a mess. The team was just a mess, obviously. And so I don't hold that accountable. I don't hold him accountable for that. And I don't hold Caleb Williams accountable for what he dealt with year one. And so I look at Bo Nix and a Jaden Daniels through a different lens. I know they were same draft class and all that, but I look at them through a different lens than I will a Drake May or even a Caleb Williams. But obviously we're focused on Drake May here. And so I'm looking at it really kind of like, hey, this is your first real year right now. This is your first real year. What's going on here? And I'm just insanely impressed. Obviously, majority of this his production in this game was mainly in the first half. And it's not like the Saints are this great team, right? But Drake May will soon graduate. This is what I do with young quarterbacks. I talk about how, more experienced quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Mahomes, whoever, when they put up amazing numbers or look great against a bad team, I'm like, yeah, that's good. It's fun. It's interesting. And if there's a couple individual exciting plays, that's great. But it's like, I expect you to be able to be great against the bad teams, against the bad defenses, whatever it may be. I don't necessarily expect that for young quarterbacks. I'm going to, it's a different lens that I'm going to look at things through. And Drake May is just about to just graduate very shortly, where it's like if he plays great against a bad defense or a bad team, I'll be like, yeah, I expect that. Like, it's just like doesn't mean much to me anymore. And I feel like he's literally like a game away from that right now. Like I said, he's just playing with such confidence and such authority, and it's just wildly impressive. Because I think you got to look at it through the lens of like, this is an incredibly young quarterback who looks like he's playing like he's been in the league for 6, 7, 8+ years. Before I get any further into it, do want to shout out New England Patriots fans. I told you guys before last week that so many of my videos with the Patriots just dive. They just go nowhere. Nobody comments. Nobody watches. And I want to be able to continue to keep making New England Patriots content. And so you guys did rise to the occasion. Please don't forget to keep subscribing, to keep watching the full length of the video, as it is without a shadow of a doubt the best way to support the growth of this channel, so we can keep making more and more content, so we can build a community that is firmly rooted in this sports talk world. When you guys do that, this is what happens. When you guys watch the full length of the video, when you guys actually subscribe while watching the video, this is what happens. It puts us in the best possible position to succeed, like the New England Patriots are doing with Drake May right now. Again, I think when you beat a team like the Saints, who are obviously not looking too great right now, you always want to put it in context. And that's why I'm putting in the context of like, this is a young up and coming quarterback who still has plenty of room to make some really big mistakes and just mess things up and to just straight up fail. And it's totally okay. From my viewpoint, totally okay. And yet he still continues to keep answering the call, right? Just taking care of business. And sometimes you see a young quarterback play and they can be successful. They can put up these exact numbers: 18 for 26, 261 yards, 3 touchdowns. And it just feels kind of like, I don't want to say that it was given to them, but it was just smooth sailing. It was just like, hey, like this quarterback just kind of just needed to show up and he was going to be able to play like this. Again, I'm seeing Drake May leading that charge. If you didn't know that he was a rookie, the way how he's been commanding that offense, just the way how he's just going through his progressions, the way how he's just letting the ball loose, whether it be a 5-yard pass or a 30-yard pass. There's no uncomfortability there. Especially with young quarterbacks, I always look at it a lot through the lens of, how comfortable are you? And to be fair, that word means multiple things to me in different times, right? Sometimes it's just like a mental comfortable, like how comfortable are you mentally? How comfortable do you feel? Do you feel grounded? And then also comfortable in terms of like, is the defense making you uncomfortable? And now I don't mean that in a mental aspect. I mean, like, are you constantly getting pushed out of the pocket? Are you getting sacked? Or do you have to rush things? And that's different than a mental aspect. And I see him just navigating both sides of the comfortability coin pretty great, as well as you could expect a quarterback to do right now. I mean, even when the Saints take away things from him. So Drake Maye was pressured more than half of his dropbacks, which is a lot, and especially for a young rookie-ish quarterback. He's being pressured a lot. You took away his run game. He was the leading rusher with 9 carries for 28 yards. It's like, I don't care if you're playing a team that's undefeated or has never won a game in the last 15 years. I don't care that the Saints are 1-5. That is impressive. For a quarterback to drop back 26 times, but be pressured, I think it was like 16 times or something, 14, 15, 16, somewhere in that range. He throws for 261 yards, 10 yards per attempt, 3 touchdowns, is only sacked once. So his pressure to sack percentage ratio in that moment is through the roof. That's why he has got a 92.7 QBR and a 140.1 passer rating. And you have no run. It's one thing if you're getting pressured a lot and all this, but then you look and say, oh, Henderson, man, he was beast. He rushed for, he had 20 carries for 125 yards. Like, that's not what happened. The run game was going nowhere. Absolutely, positively nowhere. Okay, Stevenson, 13 carries, 18 yards. And 7 of them came from 1 carry, okay? 1.4 yards per attempt isn't even really representative of that. So he's being pressured. It's funny. Troy Aikman talked about this, and I always like to repeat it because he just brought this up again last week or the week before during his Monday Night Football game, and he was just like, the best thing you could do for a young quarterback, and I laughed because it's what you could do for every quarterback is, get the run game going and protect him, right? Buy your quarterback time and have a run game. Well, Drake Maye's getting pressured. You didn't have a run game, and yet he still balled. He still played as great as you could ever ask your quarterback to play. You deserve tremendous amount of credit and heaps of praise for that. You just do. You haven't even played. I don't think Drake Maye has even played 17 games yet in his career. It's really impressive. Really, really, really impressive. He might have maybe crawled. I wonder if he did. Yeah, it was his 19th game of his career. And I'm pretty sure some of those games he didn't even play the whole game. So I don't think he's actually played 19 full games start to finish. Just really, really, really impressive. Really impressive. I mean, I just brought this up to look at the games, but this is just a perfect entry point, and then we'll wrap up here. Completion percentage 66.6%, now 73.2%. Yards, obviously, in 13 games, 2,276, and in only 6 games, 1,522. Up. 6.7 yards per attempt to 8.5 yards per attempt. In 13 games, he had 15 touchdowns. He's already got 10, and he had 10 interceptions in those 13 games. He only has 2, obviously significantly better touchdown to interception ratio. Higher pass rating, 88.1 to 112.5, and QBR, if that means anything to you, 55.2 to 72. Just incredibly impressive. Incredibly impressive. So shout out Drake Maye. You be ballin'. Drake Maye is a legitimate MVP candidate right now. Again, I have fun with these lists and these names, and I don't care about trying to predict how something's going to continue. I don't care too strongly about what the past meant and what not. One of my favorite ways to look at the NFL is just, I don't know who any of these quarterbacks are. I don't know how old any of them are. I don't know how many Super Bowls, MVPs, any of the stuff they won. I'm just watching them right now. What do I see? Who's playing as a top quarterback right now? and you'd absolutely positively have to put Drake May up there. If you had no idea that Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen been in the league forever and yada yada yada, and that Drake May is a young quarterback, like you would watch Drake May and be like, yeah, they're on the same level right now. You would say, yeah, this is he's a top tier quarterback. You have to. The only reason why you won it is because you would be like, well, these guys have done it for longer, and he's won a Super Bowl and MVPs and et cetera, et cetera. But it's like if you're just looking at it just on this year, and again, not trying to make any predictions of how careers will go, not focusing on the past, and you're just like, I'm watching the season right now. What do I see? Drake May is a top quarterback in the NFL and is playing at an elite level. It's actually quite through the roof. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the New England Patriots and Drake May? 4-2 right now. Winning their third straight. Drake May balling. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here. As I said, I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.